All right. Thank you, everyone. I'm so sorry for the mix-up. I am awful when it comes to technical stuff. I should have had Jose set it up, but I thought I would be the big man and set up my own live stream, and clearly that was a stupid thing to do because I don't know how to do it. Anyway, yeah. Today, what's that? Oh, I got to tilt it down. I'm backing up. There we go. Oh, so first of all, because we're doing Haggis, I wore my Maxwell Clan Reveresco. It's my Maxwell, because I'm a Maxwell. My Maxwell Clan apron. I thought it was apropos. Today, we're going to be trying canned haggis. I really, really want to make haggis. I want to do an entire episode going into the history of haggis. It's fascinating. Its place in Scottish culture. Amazing. But one, it's an undertaking. So I'm not going to get there for a little while. And two, you can't buy sheep lung in who is this? Solomon Finch. My mother also has the surname Miller. Nobody misspells it, that's for sure. So you can't buy sheep lung in the U.S. per the USDA. Not entirely sure why, but what you can do is you can get canned haggis from Europe or from England that has Scotland that has all of the traditional elements. As long as it's processed and canned, I guess the USDA doesn't care. Not quite sure, because you can get it online. You can get it at British specialty stores, but I actually had it sent to me from one of my patrons after my last Q&A that I did where I lamented not being able to make haggis. Patrick Duncan from my Patreon sent it over, so thank you, Patrick. And thank you, Joshua. The Brie Tart one episode is his favorite. That is actually one of my favorites too, because one of my favorite stories that I've found out during research of during the show is the story about the brie contest or the cheese contest that they had when they were carving up Europe after Napoleon's fall. And then the other favorite story, which also is in that episode, is when King Louis XVI stopped to have some brie while they were fleeing from Paris toward their castle, and that's when, of course, they got caught. So, you know, got his head cut off for a love of cheese. What better reason? So yeah, anyway, we're gonna make canned haggis today. I'm very excited. Let me read to you what's in here. All right. Ingredients: 45% lamb lobes, those lovely, lovely lamb lobes. 19% oatmeal. Thank you, David. My channel is blowing up quite unexpectedly, and I appreciate that. So 45% lamb lobes. I only have 10% lamb lobes inside of me, so that's a lot of lamb lobes. 19% oatmeal. Something to know about this oatmeal: it's not like rolled oats or steel cut oats or anything like that. It's oatmeal, so it's like fully ground into closer to like flour. That's typically how it's done. I don't know how it's done in this canned haggis, but then water, suet, onion, salt, and spices. And it also says, and I love this, and I'm going to ask some opinions from people who have done this, because I've heard two different things. It says can be served as a main course or delicious starter. Jose, where did it say the thing about the thing? The wee dram. Ah, no. Oh, here. Okay. So empty contents into a saucepan and heat gently, stirring occasionally until warmed through. For a real Scottish flavor, add a wee dram of whiskey before serving. I'm sorry for my Scottish accent. So, should I add a wee dram? I got some gold label Johnny Walker. Should I add a bit, or should I just taste it separately? I'm kind of afraid that it's going to influence the flavor, so then I'm not really tasting the haggis. So then I'll just have to, drink a shot of this separately. It's gonna get drunk. it's going to get drunk. My mom, the English teacher right now, would be mad that I don't know my words. All right, we're just going to open this puppy up. Also, I didn't want anyone to see this. I did not. So this is traditionally served with neeps and tatties, which are mashed potatoes and some sort of mashed turnips, I believe. Correct me if that's incorrect, which I'm sure it is. I think I wrote it down. I wrote a few little things down. I didn't write that down. And I couldn't find, nor did I really need to get tatties, but I easily found mashed potatoes, but I don't want to make mashed potatoes. It's hot. I'm in Los Angeles. It's like 100 degrees out. I could do without the heating up needs. So this is really, it's quite thick. It's quite thick, and obviously I should have taken that off. Probably, Jose says it looks like dog food, and he's not wrong. He's not wrong, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my God. It's like getting dried clay out of a, I'm gonna bend the spoon. All right, oh, here we go. Okay, no, I thought I was getting all of it. And I did check and make sure that it was still good, you know, that it hadn't gone bad. It actually smells fine, so I'm assuming I'm not about to kill myself.
Cat from Australia asks, are you going to try Vegemite anytime?
Vegemite. Cat asks if I'm going to try Vegemite. I should. I've never done Vegemite. I've only heard that the flavor is very polarizing. That should be on my next. So yesterday I went to a British specialty shop that we have here in town to get some other things. I got some HP sauce to eat with the haggis in case I need it. Some brown sauce, and I also got as a drink some bitter shandy. I don't exactly know what it is, but I like the dog on it. So if anyone's ever tried this, let me know. But they had Vegemite, and I was gonna get it, and I didn't. It's just down the street, so I'll make another trip. Anyway, so while this begins to heat, and I hope I don't, I'm putting it on medium heat. Figure that's fine. Let's hope. Glad to have you. Thank you. Oh no, it went away. Sin of Nox, I thank you. I love your channel too. If you have a channel.
Make the rat, Max.
I'm not making the rat. Not doing it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry, I'm not making the rat. I could take something similar and like prepare it in the same way, but I'm not making a rat. Though, it's funny because here in LA we have the LA River, lots and lots of nice big fat rats. So Somaswara, the king, would probably be okay with me just going down to the LA River and getting a nice big strong fat river rat, but I'm not going to do it. So yeah, so I wanted something cool yesterday. Now I haven't done a bunch of research on haggis like that I would do for an episode, which is hours upon hours upon hours and going down rabbit holes. But one thing I did find is the very first known written recipe for haggis from around 1430 came from Lincolnshire in England, or in the neighborhood, from the Liber Curae Cocorum, which is a book of cookery. And the cool thing about this book is all of the recipes are in rhyme. So I'm going to read it. It's just, now it's in Middle English, so I apologize for my Middle English, which sucks. For haggisa, the heart of shape, the ne'er thou take, the bowel not thou shalt forsake. On the turbulin made, means like a thing that you boil stuff in, and boiled wella, hack all together with good persille, which is parsley. Hyssop savory thou shalt, hyssop savory thou shalt take then, and suet of sheep take in I can. That's hyssop, savory, and sheep suet. With powder of pepper and Haggis good one. So eggs in this version, not in the modern version usually. And set it well and serve it then. Look it be salted for good manner. In winter time, when herbs be good, take powder of home, I wot indeed. A savory, mint and thyme, so they add mint, which is nice. Full good, hyssop and sage. I wot by the road. So pick up some sage next to the road and drop it in. I just love that. I love that it's rhyming. Even though I didn't make Gouda and Rhoda rhyme, it should be, I think it's Goda and Rhoda. Goda and Rhoda? I don't know. If anyone out there knows Middle English better than I, and their pronunciation is better than I, which is pretty much everyone, I'm sure, please let me know how Goda and Rhoda are supposed to be pronounced. So where did haggis come from? We don't know. But there are two main competing theories. One is that it came from the ancient Romans. It was done as a way. Now, so the reason it was probably done was after a fresh kill, you had all of these innards left that really couldn't be thrown over a fire, not grilled well. You can't really grill stomach and heart. They're just too hearty. Yes. They don't really work well. The lungs, I don't know, maybe they, I don't know why, but you can't typically grill those very easily. This is taking a while. It actually smells really good. So they'd put these things that didn't cook well into the stomach and be able to boil it right there. So everything else could be cooked right away, boil everything else right there. So really smart. So Alan Davidson, who is a food historian, culinary historian, says that it probably came from the ancient Romans. Could have. They were up in the area of southern Scotland, northern England, then below Hadrian's Wall, of course. And then one of my favorite people of all time, Clarissa Dixon Wright, one of the two fat ladies. Everything she does is gold. Look her up. She's just charm incarnate. She says that it came to Scotland in a longship, meaning either Danish or Norwegian or Swedish Vikings coming over, and that had to do with the words that are still used to mean to chop and everything in some of those languages are very similar to haggis. I think they're like haka and haga and stuff. And if you look in this Middle English version, haka is one of the spellings, H-A-C-K-E, where they think that the term haggis ended up coming from. So it would make sense. So that's really all the history I got for you guys. I'm kind of lazy this weekend. I really thought this would heat up a little faster. I'm honestly not even able to tell when it's heated. I'm trying to break it up. I thought it would be a little bit more liquidy. It's almost like very dry ground beef or something like that. Should I? Okay, so where did we end up on adding the whiskey? Whiskey? Anyone? Whiskey? Maybe we'll just let's try the whiskey. Let's try the whiskey. And I'm gonna drop in rats. We are the rats. Okay, so that video, I had never seen that. Jose had never seen that, and people kept commenting, rats, we are the rats, the birthday rats. We ended up watching it, and we're just tickled pink. We loved it. All right, some people are saying yes, some people are saying no. Most people are saying to throw some in. I'm gonna throw in like less than a wee dram. How much is a dram? I'm not sure if they mean this literally or not, but I'm gonna look up how much is a dram. Because it is an actual,
So I'm gonna say, take the shot before you eat it.
Maybe I'll just take the shot before. So this is only 1/16 of an ounce. That's a super small amount. I'm gonna leave it out. I'm gonna drink it right before, and then probably again right after. But I'm gonna leave it out so I can really get the taste of what the haggis is. I just thought it would be more liquidy. All right, let's see how hot you're getting. It's warming. It's warming.
Max, you have to address the haggis.
Ah, that is the other thing I wanted to talk about. The addressing of the haggis. Yes. Okay, so haggis now is traditionally served, especially in the U.S. And I'm going to put these neeps. Or are those the tatties? I don't know. Those potatoes in the microwave because they've been out now for a little bit. Wouldn't it be funny if I end up poisoning myself not from the haggis but from bad potatoes? Irony. So yeah, Robbie Burns, Robert Burns Day, which is in January. It was January 21st. I should have looked that up. Don't look at my rather messy inside of my microwave. So Robert Burns wrote a famous poem called Address to the Haggis. Address to the Haggis or Address to a Haggis? I think the Haggis. And I'm not going to read the whole thing, largely because to an American or even modern English here, it's incomprehensible. But it starts out, fair fire honest, sonsy face, great chieftain o' the puddin' race. I love that. It's the great chieftain o' the puddin' race. And by pudding, you don't mean like an American pudding, like chocolate pudding. It's the British version of a pudding, which is actually can mean a few different things. But usually in this context, it means a sausage. Something that has been cooked or boiled or inside of a casing. So like black pudding, blood pudding, those aren't like what you're going to get from a Jell-O pudding pops. Oh, God, remember those? Those, I'm sure those have not aged very well considering who the spokesperson was. It's Bill Cosby for all of you kids out there.
Innocuous remark asks, is there a culture, region, or historical period that you think has particularly bad cuisine?
Jose is reading to me, which you probably, I don't know if you can hear. Actually, you might be able to hear it. Is there a culture with particularly bad cuisine? You know what? I don't know, because I've never found one that had particularly bad cuisine. English food gets a bad rap, at least here in the United States. But a lot of that bad rap actually comes from post-World War II, when there was still a lot of rationing going on. There was there were very, very few fresh ingredients. Everything was still being canned and everything, and a lot. There was very little coming in from the mainland because they were, you know, trying to get over World War II. So the American GIs were like, "This food is gross. Why are you giving this to me?" Well, America had all these farms and everything that England just didn't have at the moment to feed everyone. So it gets bad rap. But I love English food. Sometimes if you go to a pub, you know, can it be bland? Yes. But that's the same in America. That's the same wherever you go. Yeah, I haven't found anything that is particularly bad as far as an entire culture or country goes. So I think it's ready. So I'm going to dish a bit of this up and let me bring it close. I'm trying to make it look pretty, but it's not easy. All right. Okay, so that's the haggis. So obviously, when this would be, somebody gave me a $100 donation, y'all. I mean, y'all. Thank you. Thank you to all of you for watching, for donating, for just being here. It's very awesome. Now my whole, can't believe somebody did that. Anyway, the haggis. So if you sometimes see pictures of haggis, they're like this. They can actually get to be like huge because it's a sheep stomach that's been stuffed with the meat and boiled. So this is the meat that's inside of that huge stomach. All right, I'm gonna just drink right out of a little bottle. Is that all right? Wow. Gold label. That stuff's pretty good. I had Johnny Walker Blue one time. I was working at a restaurant. I used to serve tables in New York all the time. And on my last day at one of the places that I worked, cook shop, I believe it was. Though don't get in trouble for this, because after my last day, we all went back and just tried all of the liquors that we could never afford, like Johnny Walker Blue. And that was the first time that I had Scotch where I was like, oh, okay, I get this. I see why somebody would actually like this, because usually Scotch I didn't like. Okay. Here we go. Haggis. Lamb lobes. Let's give it a shot. It actually smells good. So people had mentioned that it was oily when it's from a can, which is weird because I think it looks very dry, but they are correct. This is oily as can be. I was going to say a different word. It's really, really oily. The flavor is a bit like corned beef hash, but very. If you've ever had liver, and it has that very distinct, not bad flavor, but a very distinct flavor that doesn't taste like the rest of the meat from the animal. It has a lot more of that in it, which is funny because is liver in this? I thought it was heart, lung, and maybe it is heart, lung, and liver. Let's see. I think I wrote that down. Typically, yes, heart, liver, and lung. So maybe I can't taste the lung, maybe I can't taste the heart, but I can taste the liver. So let's try it with a bit of neeps. Did we ever find out if the neeps were the potatoes, or are they the tatties? Somebody from England or Scotland, weigh in. What are neeps?
We'll get there. Benjamin Olander Rasmussen says, "Are you planning on trying surstrum?"
Renzi, thank you. $50. Amazing. Am I getting ready to try what?
Benjamin Olander Rasmussen asked, "Are you planning on trying surstrum?"
How do you say it? Surstrum? I'm guessing you mean the fermented shark from Iceland. The only way I'm trying that is when I get to go to Iceland. So maybe after the lockdown. All right, let's try it with a bit of the neeps or tatties.
Tatties are potatoes.
Tatties.
Neeps are turnips.
So I have turnips.
Turnips.
I have no turnips. All right, with the potatoes, they're actually really good. This is really good. I'm going to put some, just because they are still dry, they're greasy and dry at the same time. It's like my T-zone, greasy and then dry. So I'm going to put just a bit of HP sauce on the side, because I love this. They didn't have the traditional brown sauce. The other one, but this'll do, pig. That'll do, pig. That'll do. Brown sauce makes everything better. I have to say, what I don't like about it is the texture. And maybe it's the canned version, but I like the aftertaste a lot. But the texture is very mushy. I want it to be a little more like, I don't know. I want to feel pieces of meat. It's really mushy. It has the same consistency basically as the mashed potatoes, and I don't like that in meat form. It's the same reason why I usually don't like pate. A little bit more, but then I want to. This is not sponsored, but go out and get some Gold Label if you drink Scotch. That's really nice. I'm going to try some of this bitter shandy. Did we ever find out what bitter shandy is? Because the can does not really say. It says, made with British beer. The refreshing flavor of bitter shandy tastes just like the stuff from the pub, but don't be fooled by the feisty exterior. This drink is softer than it looks. So I'm assuming that it's non-alcoholic, because it doesn't mention alcohol.
Have more whiskey.
But it says it has beer. Add more whiskey?
Drink the rest of the whiskey.
I will. Who's rushing me? It's the middle of the day. I should have a cocktail waiting after this. It's Sunday. It's like brunch, right? It's not bitter. This is delicious. Okay, anyone who knows a British shop near you where you can get bitter shandy, go get this. This is delicious. Jose, try this. Come here. Come. He's not going to get on camera, I'm sure. He's so shy. Though I wish he would get on camera because he's wearing the cutest shirt right now. It's got Lapras all over it, and he's wearing his Pokemon. Our house. Oh, and you know who I've been standing in front of this entire time? Usually I don't call him out, but this is a special occasion. They've already appeared in videos, but it was just too perfect. We have, is it Mareep? Mareep?
Oh,
Wooloo. Wooloo? And then this one's Mareep, but a ditto Mareep? I don't know. I've been standing in front of him the whole time, so you couldn't see. But there's your Pokemon for the day. Anyway, let me take a few more questions. I don't want to keep you all day. I know you all have things to do. Thank you, ADHD Distracted. Oh, you're all amazing. This is really cool. So questions. They're coming so fast. Jose, can you throw out some questions? Let's see Jose's shirt. Maybe I can get him to just put his arm. He's taking it off. He's not going to come on. I appreciate that, Trey Love, $10, but he's not going to do it. So, okay, it's cool because see, it's got Lapras on it. So we're really bummed because we just bought a bunch of like Hawaiian style shirts because we're going to Hawaii on vacation. We were supposed to go to Hawaii for our honeymoon and at our wedding and our honeymoon in October, but you know, with all the shutdown, we decided we don't want to do that. But we were still going to hold on to those dates and go for vacation. But they just extended the quarantine, and we decided, you know what, we're going to be safe. Let's not get on a plane. Let's not, you know, we get there and then we have to be in quarantine for 2 weeks. That's no fun. And there's not going to be anything open. So we're going to stay in California. We're going to do Yosemite and the beach. Where are we going, honey? Yosemite, Lake Tahoe. We're going to do Lake Tahoe, I think. Anyway, we'll be wearing Hawaiian shirts at Lake Tahoe in October because we already bought them. I wear Hawaiian shirts a lot anyway. So,
random question. What's your favorite Jane Austen book?
Read the super chat. I don't know how to read the super chat. I'm going to figure this out. How do I read the super chat? Honey, how do I read the super chat? Oh, no. Click on these. Trey says, bring him on. Is that the, oh, I think that's the super chat. Let's see Jose's shirt. We saw the shirt. Is there any dish that you've made that you want to make on a semi-regular or regular basis? That's from Rachel Minecki. Yes, and the answer is, put this up there. The answer to that is the syllabub. I'm going to be making the syllabub a lot. I think that it'll be cool to try with like different liquors and different flavorings. It's going to be mwah. ADHD distracted, traditionally boiled in the sheep's stomach, but that makes it illegal in the US. It's because of the lungs. Yeah, bitter shandy is bitter. I didn't think it was bitter because usually when it's bitter, I go, but I thought it was delicious. And lemon. Okay, it's because it's mixed with lemonade. No wonder. Renzi, thank you so much. Innocuous remark. I'm just like beside myself. Is there? Oh, and that was about bad cuisine. I need to figure this stuff out. I'm still trying to figure out this whole darn thing. Thank you, Jordan Bennett. Thank you, Jennifer C. Would you be interested in trying Chinese food? I am working on a Chinese recipe. It's really hard because I don't speak Chinese. I don't read Chinese, so it is taking a lot more time. Divu is, honey, where is my super chat? I don't know. I don't know how to work this thing. Greetings from Chile. I love your channel. Thank you, Wilhelm. And in Chilean money. That's very cool. Dennis, my partner, I love your videos. Really enjoyed your recent expansion into non-European recipes. And I'm trying to do that more. But like I was mentioning with the Chinese food, the research portion takes 5 times what a European dish takes. So they're not going to be really, really common, but I am working on them. So just hold tight. They are coming. China's coming. Japan is coming. I'm doing a Mexican dish, but the history is pre-Columbian. They didn't have any recipes pre-Columbian, but the history is pre-Columbian. So those are happening. I'm also doing some Middle Eastern things coming up. Those will all be before the end of the year, I promise. Yes, Jose. He's raising his hand like he's in class. Yes, darling.
Bileba asks, what's your favorite Jane Austen book?
Favorite Jane Austen book? It's actually Persuasion. I adore Persuasion. Partly because I love where parts of it take place. I love that region of England. Jennifer C. Wait, you know Chinese characters? Some of them are from the what I'm reading is from like the 14th to 15th century, so it is a little weird, but I would love your help. So email me, please, tastinghistorywithmaxmiller@gmail.com. Longest email in the world, but I would really, really appreciate that because I could use the help. Comment. If you ever get to play with a smoker, I want a smoker, try smoked haggis. It's crispy as heck. Try Ackroyd's Detroit. Does that mean I have to go to Detroit? I'd go to Detroit. Flambe the haggis. I could try flambeing the haggis. I suppose not at the moment. Once the camera's off, I want to burn my eyebrows off. I already burned part of my eyebrow off some time ago. Can you do a video on bannock? I don't know what bannock is. I've heard of it, but I don't exactly know what it is. Have Jose jump on camera real quick. You know what? There's not enough liquor in the world to get him on camera until he's passed out, and then I could just drag his body over and set him up. But Czech dishes from the 17th century. Yes, I would love that. tastinghistory@gmail.com, please. You can also find me on Twitter, Tasting History 1, and on Instagram, Tasting History with Max Miller. But if you're sending me anything, definitely send it to my Gmail, because Twitter and Instagram are impossible to search, and so I end up losing things. I have so many things somewhere in my Instagram comments that I'll never find. Type of Sally Lunn, but more fruit. Oh, I'm sold, because I love the Sally Lunn bun. Also, one of the things that I will make again in the future, because it wasn't that hard, and it's just so fluffy, though it still doesn't compare to the Sally Lunn that you get when you actually go to Bath. So if after all of this is over, all of this being, you know, what's going on in the world, after all of this is over, every single person on here should go to Bath and go to the Sally Lunn house. It's totally a tourist trap, but it's one of those tourist traps where it's like, this was a worthy tourist trap, because they are so good and they show you how they were made, and it's just charming. And that part of Bath is charming. So you're already there. You're going to be waiting in line no matter where you go. So just do yourself a favor and do it. Where did I get that shirt? It was either the Gap or Target. I'm exceedingly frugal, so most of my shopping goes to the Gap or the Target. Target. Did you ever see Supersizers Go? Yes, I love Supersizers Go. It just makes me sad that there weren't more episodes. You should try some Portuguese dishes. Yes, they're delicious. I am. I'm actually doing a really cool one, or starting to ponder on it. It's a a Portuguese dish, but from the Jewish community, and the reason that the dish exists is just fascinating because it has to do with the Inquisition, which I think is a horrible and fascinating subject. Also, what did Italian food look like before the discovery of the tomato? Very similar without tomato sauce. Tune in on Tuesday to see lasagna from the 14th century. It's actually an English lasagna, but I talk about Italian lasagna from then too, pre-tomato, and it's very, very interesting. Thank you, Allison. Uber shiny sheep. Marie, can you wait for the... Oh, I want to do Yorkshire pudding, though I hear they're very hard to bake. And yes, I want to do shows from abroad as soon as the restrictions open up, as soon as Americans can leave our shores. I plan on doing some... That's why I want to do the haggis in Scotland, so I can make a true haggis and have someone pronounce it outside of my terrible Scottish accent. Sergeant Chicken Wing, thank you. You guys are the cutest. I'm assuming you mean me and the Pokemon, or Jose. I wish our cats were down here, but they kept trying to knock over the computer. You guys are the cutest. Thank you, and I will be trying that. Oh, from Sweden, that fermented fish from Sweden. I would love to go to Sweden and try that. Yes, I want to go all the places and try all the foods. Your oldest first edition cookbook, the oldest one that I have. You know what? I don't have any first edition cookbooks. I rely on reprints or online. I would love some first edition cookbooks. There's a great store in New York that sells a lot of them, but I can't bring myself to pay, $2,000 for a cookbook. I can't do it. What kind of Pokemon would you put in your Sporin? First of all, I wish I had a Sporin. And thank you, Happy Honeymoon. What kind of Pokemon? I would fit a Wailmer in there. I think a Wailmer would be very useful. Jose's moving the camera. He's tilting it down. Suck it in. Suck it in. So quarantine has not been good to my waistline, and I just started a diet, except for that I'm going to be finishing this haggis and definitely the tatties. But I have just started eating well. We're doing better, but I've got a good 20 pounds to lose. So that's going to happen. Guys, start the Kickstarter. Schematics of first edition. You pick the book. I'll take it. I'll make stuff from it. French history teacher to help with research. I could. Oh, you know what? Actually, I could. I'm going to be doing something from Lafayette's. Excuse me, from Lafayette's wedding dinner, and would love some help with some research on that, especially because the French in the 18th century was a little bit different than now. So when I put it into Google Translate, because my French is subpar, sometimes it doesn't know those words. And then the history around Lafayette and weddings in the 18th century France. I would love some stuff about that. Yeah. So thank you all. I think that's probably gonna be it. The haggis, I think it's an A minus, maybe a B plus. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it, but I really want to try true haggis after this. Are you willing to ship out your garum? You know all my garum. I did that quick garum. So the better to do, and I have something coming up where I use this. Better to use is, oh no, I don't have it up here. Colatura di alici. It's going to have all of the umami flavor that quick garum does not have. You get a lot of the flavor from quick garum. It's closer than you'd think, but you're missing a little bit of that umami flavor, which really comes through in the food. Yes, Jose.
The people want a Townsend's collaboration.
Townsend's collaboration. It might be in the works. It might not be. It's hard with the quarantine. I'll just say that. But eventually it will happen. It will happen. I know it. Thank you, Jessica Alexander. And thank you for thinking that I'm interesting. It's nice that somebody does. And thank you, Fahim Zahir. I can't figure out how to go back to those early super chats. I'm going to figure it out. when I end the stream, and I'm going to message people if I can find their emails, because I'm sorry, I'm still learning how to use this. So if the super chats just disappear, which kind of sucks, so I'll have to go back and watch it. If you know of a way that I could just like look at all the super chats, that would be awesome. So I really apologize if I didn't see it. Jose was supposed to be on the lookout, but I was not clear with my instructions on what to look out for. So that's my bad. Next time, I promise it won't be like that. Yeah. So I think that's it. Unless we had any more questions, any more chat about haggis. Have you all tried haggis? Have you tried the real thing with lungs and all, fresh haggis? I'm really curious to see how the flavor is different. I think when I do real haggis, I want to reheat some, not this canned haggis, but some new canned haggis, and taste them side by side and see, you know, how different they are. Because it's funny how some canned foods, the canning process does not change the flavor all that much, and then some it changes wildly. It's kind of crazy. I mean, canned pineapple. If it's good canned pineapple, it's very, very similar to fresh pineapple. And then some foods just don't can well at all. I think green beans don't can well. I like them, but they don't taste like green beans.
News on merch.
News on merchandise. Yes. Soon. That's the news. I finally think I've figured out a company that I can work with, because a lot of the companies is just shirts and mugs. Well, that's great for some people, but I'm a cooking channel, so I want aprons and tea towels and things like that. So I think I've CrowdMate. I think I've found will do all of that. So hopefully in the next couple weeks. Fingers crossed. The other nice thing about them is that they integrate with YouTube. So there's a little bar underneath all my videos where you can just go there. So you don't have to I don't have to send a link and blah, blah, blah. It'll just be a lot easier. One cool thing I did get was for some of my patrons on Patreon, they're getting pins, and they just came in and they look fantastic. I was shocked at how good they look. So I'm really excited about that. Thank you, Victorian Ka. I really appreciate that. And Draconity. I thank you as well. All right. So I'm going to go finish this. I'm going to finish my whiskey, and I make sure to be there on Tuesday for the lasagna episode. I'm actually working with Chef Frank Proto from Proto Cooks. He was big on Epicurious. If you ever watch those videos from Epicurious where it was like, they're called 4 levels videos, and they would have a person who didn't cook at all make something, and then the same dish would be made by a home cook who really knows their stuff, and then the third person would be a professional chef. He was the professional chef on those. So the fact that I'm getting to work with him, thank you to my patron Etrigan for setting me up with him or giving me the idea to reach out to him. So that's going to be really cool. I'm going to make a medieval lasagna. He's going to make a modern lasagna on his show, but then I'm going to do some more modern history on his show about the lasagna. It's not really history because it's from like the last 50 years, but it's really interesting stuff. So yeah. All right. Thank you all. I really, really appreciate it. And I will see you on Tuesday. Ciao.